So it's just another day, and I was walking by the RV, and I thought, that window didn't look just right. So was it sticking out? I thought, did I forget to crank it back in? So I pushed on it, and then it came back out. I said, well, that's not right. What's it doing that for? And so then I pulled up on it, and I know that's not right. So what has happened is our bond has come loose from the window. In fact, this is a fairly new window. I put it in new, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. It fogged up real bad and etched the glass and ruined it. So I had to get a new one. In fact, I don't even think you can buy them now. I think the company quit offering them. So anyway, like I always say, it's always something. So now I got to figure out how to fix that, because I'm trying to get my butt down to Florida, and I can't be driving with that thing flopping in the wind. All right, so let's see what we get into. All right, so here's what we got from the inside the bedroom here. Crank this open, and I'll see how I gotta get that little channel loose from these arms. I'm thinking it will slide out. Not 100% sure if I'm gonna take this all apart, this mechanism apart or not. All right, let's go back outside, see what we come up with. Okay, so it's like I thought. Once I cranked it out a little bit, I can slide this out all the way. There we go. And I'll have to take the window out. If I remember right on it, I take out that rubber strip, lift the window up almost completely horizontally, and then pops out some weird way, if memory serves me right. So let me get a ladder and let me get that window out. Okay, so step one, grab the wife's. So step number one, grab the wife's hairdryer when she's not looking, and then heat up the rubber sleeve here, get it kind of soft, so you start peeling it out of that groove. See how it's kind of tucked in there? It's kind of cold out here, so it didn't want to release, but heating it up took care of it. So I'm going to slowly warm this up and then pull this all the way out. Once I get that out, then it'll make it a lot easier to get that glass out. All right, step one, rubber strip is out. Now I have to get this glass out. That gets tricky. It's going to take 2 hands. And be very careful on this ladder, because this glass has to get pivoted straight out like this before it will unlock from that weird channel. So let me try to get that done and see if I can get it loose. Well, I managed to get it out and not break it. So to let you know how to get this out, you can see how that channel is. Now when it's in its normal position, like this, it's locked in place with this little lip right here. Now when you pivot the window all the way up in a horizontal position, at that point it sort of unlocks. So once you get it to that point, you just slide it back and it drops out straight and it drops straight down. So just slide back, get a horizontal position, bring it back about 1/4 inch, and it drops straight down out of the track. So that's how it comes out. And I can vaguely see where it used to be stuck at. See if you can see it in the, yeah, you barely see where it used to be stuck and where it come undone. So before I lose those markings, because I'll probably have to clean that with alcohol or something other to get a good adhesion, I'll get me some tape, put me some tape here, so I know exactly where I need to reposition it when I glue it back on. So now I just got to I got to locate me some really good polyurethane for this project. So that's what's going to take. So if you find yourself in this situation, here's what you're going to need. T20 Torx bit, if you can see it in there. And just take the center screw out. Get that out of the way. You got 2 more screws here. I done broke them loose. Get one out. Now, I'll get the other one out, but now what I'm going to have to do is lift this up, tilt this forward, and I'm going to have to use two hands because as soon as I take that screw out, that thing's going to drop to the ground. I don't want to break it, so let me get two hands on it for a second. And here's what the mechanism looks like. So while I've got this out, I'm going to put a little more grease on those little gears, and I'll put me some kind of lubrication on this. They kind of bind it up a little bit. But I'll get that done, and hopefully I'll get me some polyurethane later this morning and get this put back together so we'll be ready to go. Something else I thought about here, you know, because this is our emergency escape window, and most RVs, all RVs have these things. And I did this as a test one time, what it was like to get out, and it wasn't easy. So I would suggest look at your emergency escape window, make sure it operates. And imagine you're in bed and you smell smoke and you got, say, 30 seconds to get out of your RV. Could you get out? What would be the process? I know with this one, the way it's made, I don't like it so much because when the glass is in there, this thing is very heavy. When you tilt out on it, that's a whole lot of weight. When you go crawling out that window, you got those arms digging into your back. So I kind of thought about this in the past. So what I did, I keep this dowel rod above the window. It's kind of sits up here on the ledge all the way. It stays put as we're driving. So of course, then again, you got to figure, do you have the wherewithal? If you got fire, you got 30 seconds. Is that you're gonna have the time to do that? So my thought process, because I thought the idea would be better to have this window to prop up and stay up. You know, design-wise, if they had some sort of ratchet mechanism, so when you swing it out, it would lock and stay out, would be great. But with this dowel rod, it kind of serves the same purpose. You can say, just push it. Well, there it goes. So I push it up in there, and it holds it open. But it would be nice if there was like some sort of little ratchet, a spring-loaded something, so when you tilted it out, it would lock and stay out completely. I probably need to do another video on that someday. Do a test run, see how quick I could get out of this RV. All right. Anyway, just thinking. Let's head to the house and see what we can come up with. Okay, you see I've got a strategy going on now. I'm just doing a drive run, getting things in position, because I want to apply pressure to this little bracket once I get the polyurethane applied to it. And this is some really good stuff. I've used this for years, and actually a buddy of mine who's been installing windshields for over 20 years, this is the only stuff he'll use. And I'll put a link to it down below the video if you need to get into a project like this. And you'll see on my other window videos, I'll use the same stuff for years. So, all right, so I got that part done, and now the next stage is I got to scuff this up a little bit, so because that's super slick. So I need to scuff this up, and then get me some alcohol and clean the glass really well, and we'll be really close to getting this sealed up and see if we can get this window back in this RV. All right, so here's what I did. With this running, I just ran this back and forth a few strokes, kind of knocked the shine off of it, and scuffed it up a little bit. So hopefully, if we can get focused, there we go. So all those little scratches I got in there now. So that'll hopefully give that new polyurethane something to grip to. All right, back to the house we go. All right, we're ready to go. I took my alcohol here. I got me some good alcohol. Got this, and I cleaned it really well. And I cleaned this real good. So now we got the polyurethane. Let's try to lay a bead and see if we can get this repaired. It's pretty thick stuff. Got the shade cleaner. And a shout out to my Sweet Pea, because she lets me do these projects on her kitchen table. Don't you, Sweet Pea? What a lucky man I am.
people know when visiting hours are at the hospital.
Not visiting hours. Yeah, if I get this on the floor, this is bad stuff. It won't come out of clothes or nothing. All right. There it goes. Pressure off that. Lay it over here so it drips onto the paper, not onto the floor. And I got to remember, you got to put this on the right way and the wrong way. The track goes down. Remember, I got my tape here to help line it up. That look good, CP?
Yes.
Yeah. Apply more pressure.
So you can put some weight or something on that?
Yeah, that's what I got the kitty cat food here.
Oh.
Squeezing it out a little bit. Yeah, I see it oozing out around the sides. That looks good.
Say I can't see it squirting.
Get my flashlight. Check this.
Oh, yeah, I see it squirting now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, no excess is better than no excess.
How long does it take to set up?
I'll probably let it sit for a couple of days before I put it back in the RV. Okay.
Oh, you're putting it on the edge?
Yeah. So I put the sticks here to pivot so it keeps the weight on
see.
there.
I see.
Awesome, Sweet Pea.
Huh.
You make a great camera person.
No.
All right, so we'll just let that dry and we'll be back in a few days and see how it does. So while that's drying, I noticed I don't like parts of it turns real easy, but then it gets really tight. You don't want to turn a couple tight spots in it. So I'm gonna see if I can't get this thing lubed up a little bit better. Try to get a little lubricant. These here don't want to turn so good either. So let's see if I can't get a little bit of lube down in there. That one turns pretty good. That one not so much. So let's see if we can't get this mechanism working better than what it does right now. Check this out. See the little sparklies? Sparklies. It's like I'm getting metal coming out of there. So what I'm doing, I'm turning it like this, putting some 20 weight oil in it and opening and closing, so the oil's coming out of that little shaft. But what's coming out, you can see how gray it is. And if you look close, you see little speckles of metal. So maybe I'm going to try to spray like some starting fluid or something in there to flush it all out really good first, then go back with some more oil. Finally get it, 'cause it's still a little tight. So that's my strategy anyways. Okay, now I'm happy. I used my little silicone spray here on these little plastic wheels. Got them rolling really good. Happy with that. And I put me some silicone grease onto the gear. So now everything's moving nice and smooth. Easy peasy. So I'm happy with that. So now we just got to wait for that polyurethane to dry. And we'll get that window put back in a couple days. And then we'll be on to the next project. Because you know how it is. With an RV, it's always something. Well, you see I've got it all bonded on there now. Actually, heck, it's been about 2 weeks. I got busy with other projects. So I suspect it should be stuck pretty well. You can see it oozed out to the side just a little bit. So hopefully that'll give me some good adhesion and that won't come off again. Now the tricky part is getting that back in the RV. So that'll be the next step. Get the mechanism all put back in and we'll give it a test. Well, I thought before I put that glass in, I might want to prep or clean up this rubber seal. Because normally I don't have access to this seal because the window sits on there, it only opens up just a little bit. So, and this is the stuff I use. This is great for your tires. 303 aerospace protectant. Awesome stuff. I'm going to go in here, put a little on the seal, try to work it with one hand. Alright, get that. And let's go in here. Wipe it down a little bit. That rubber nice and soft. That looks good. Alright, so I'll go around and do this whole seal before I put the window in. And there's the good stuff right there. In fact, I remember seeing a video of a guy, he had his tires on his RV, it was like 8 years old, but they looked brand new. It's because he had used this on them all the time, keeping the sun off of them. The sidewalls looked awesome. In fact, I went back and sprayed it kind of heavy. I'm just going to let it sit there for a while. Let it soak into that rubber before I wipe it off. I'll come back in a few minutes and wipe it down. Alright, I got my Sweet Pea with me. Sweet Pea's my camera person. Trying to be careful about this. Remember I took this window out. It's got this weird mechanism getting in and out, so I wanted to film this part so you can see how it works. In case you ever have to take yours out, in and out. Careful, be very careful. It's got this weird mechanism. So you have to kind of go up in, bring it out, and then rotate it around. I'll try to illustrate that. Get up here. Because it took me a while to figure it out the first time I removed one of these. It was confusing me. So you see how so you go straight up, then out, and then it kind of locks. Make sure. Oh, there it is. Ta-da! Just want you to know that little secret. It's easy peasy. I just got to put the mechanism on it. That cleaned up pretty good. All right, so we'll get that part done. Now we'll go to the other side. Thank you, Sweet Pea. Well, I almost forgot an important step, and that's to put this little rubber strip on. I'm trying to show you. See, we've got this little gap to deal with. And we got to get that rubber strip put back in there, and kind of here's what I've been soaking it in the kitchen sink in hot water, hoping this will help facilitate the. So we've got to press that in there and get it locked in. One thing else I'm going to do is going to use this 303 aerospace protectant. So I'm going to spray it in that groove. Do that. I think that'll help too. All right, Sweet Pea, you ready for the camera? Well, it was a little bit stubborn, but I finally got it. I took my hair dryer, got it good and warm, and then I used a little tool. Where'd it go? Tool. I used this. That worked out really well because I had one part that was giving me trouble. I had to push it in there good and tight, and then I dropped it. Anyway, got it all in there good, nice and shiny, closed up tight like it's supposed to be. So there we go. Now let's go inside and finish up. Alright, as you can see, I got the cart before the horse. I got to put this part in first. So let's go up here. Get the track. Well, missed it, didn't I? Put that one in. Alright, then we got the little square hole we just lined up. Alright, now we can go back inside, put the screws in it, and test it. Thank you, TP. This right here. It's nice having a camera lady. It's odd being able to work with two hands. I'm not used to that. I'm getting spoiled. Just a little bit. Alright. Cranky do on there. Ta-da! All the way open, get a nice breeze. Crank it down. Remember earlier in the video I lubricated that gear real good? That has made a big difference. Oh, it really operates smooth now. So if your little winter cranks ain't working so good, you can do the same thing. Easy peasy. There you go.
And being that this is the emergency exit, always practice your emergency exit.
Yeah, practice your emergency exit. That'll be an interesting video someday. Trying to get out of this thing quickly. Open this up. Where's my little dowel rod? I got it laying here somewhere, don't I?
I think you moved it.
Oh, here it is. Yeah. So remember, I talked about this earlier. Because if you because you got to be, because if you try to get out, these things dig in your back as you're trying to escape. Which if your RV's on fire, I guess you're gonna figure out a way. You're gonna do it. But you know, I had the idea if I could quickly throw that in there, it keeps it open. You can get out a little bit easier. But it'd be nice if there was some sort of little automatic latch. You could, when you swing it out, it would lock in place. But hopefully you never need such a thing. But it is a strange design, but that's the way it is. I'll just leave that sitting up in there. Nice. Just like that. Crank it back open. Close it. I guess that project's done. Thank you for watching. And like always, have a blessed day.